Thank you for joining me on a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I am your host, Ms.G. As sexy as I want to be. Thank you for tuning in. This has been amazing. Launching this podcast in February, Black History Month, was the best thing I could have done. I can't stress enough to my supporters, 31 subscriptions. I am so happy. I launched this project in the middle of February, so I'm definitely happy how the results are going. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, let's give it up for you guys. Let's give it up, give it up, give it up. You deserve it. This journey has been amazing. It has been emotional. It has been a bit stressful, but it's been a journey nonetheless. I have to say that I am so blessed to have met all of the beautiful souls and all the beautiful people that came in my live stream and talked to me. Let me give it up to those people. Definitely give it up to those people. You deserve it. And just sharing your stories and your walks of life with me. I think I can't stress enough how it's been interesting to hear men tell their side, women tell their side. I had so many people, I believe in the spirit, wanted to join me on this podcast, but a lot of people did fall off. And that's okay. I still love those people. But everybody's not meant to take the journey with you, you know? And it's so crazy because life throws us curveballs after curveballs. I'm excited that February wrapped very well. We talked about a lot of things: politics, mental health, relationships, a lot with relationships. And we touched on COVID and, like I said, mental health. And I want this month to be mental health awareness. Let's do March Madness as a mental health awareness all through March. I'm going to be promoting about mental health and how important it is for us to communicate in the Black community. I want to also state that it's okay to be not okay. I think a lot of people in my community, excuse me, I can't talk today. In my community are afraid to communicate that they're not okay. I go through my challenges. People work, people have kids, people have everyday lives, and we're all in the same boat trying to stay positive in the nature. So I think it's very important for us to keep demonstrating this here at a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then keep demonstrating that we can be together on a lot of things and we can agree to disagree on a lot of things. Just to touch on a few topics that's going on, maybe you guys don't know about. Trump had a rally. Yeah, boo. And that rally, it was one black male. The camera made it so that one brother could be on TV. It was on C-SPAN. And of course, to me, it seems like ex-President Trump thinks he's the current president still. Just by the way he's talking, his following is becoming more massive. I don't promote this type of behavior. I think he should have been impeached and put under the jail. That's just my personal opinion. If you're a Republican and you feel some type of way, then I don't care. Because I can't back a person who supports racism and the death toll of COVID. I believe he should have been charged with every death because he knew about this outbreak. He knew about this pandemic and he was very late to his response. So, excuse me, I feel that he should be penalized for that. Moving forward, we had a lot of deaths, celebrity deaths in the month of February. You know, Cicely Tyson did leave us. Miss Lynchman. I was surprised Screech. Screech left us from Saved by the Bell. He died of stage 4 cancer. So my heart and my condolences goes deeply out to all of those families and all of the families that lost someone during this horrible pandemic. I can't stress enough. I want to talk to you. I want to see how you're coping. I want to know how you're feeling. So definitely chime into the show. Send me an email and we will have you on. Also moving forward from USA Today, I believe they still have an open investigation on the mob, they say, which I believe they should call them terrorists, that started at the Capitol, and their ongoing investigation hasn't covered much. And I don't quote that from USA Today. I quote that from myself in my own personal opinion, that even though they do have an open investigation, I believe this is going to be swept under the rug and treated like all white privilege is treated. Because we all know if those people were black or any people of color, they've been dead and they've already been locked up. And a trial would have been already set, and it would have been this big, massive media craze. Excuse me. So, we're in March. It's the 1st. Bills are due. Money is tight. COVID is still here. Vaccines are here. Johnson & Johnson just released their second dose of the vaccine. I don't know how you guys feel about taking a vaccine. I'm still not for it, just because I do have underlying condition, and I want to be cautious. To be quite honest, I just don't trust it right now. So for those who did take the vaccine and you're doing well, I want to talk to you. I want to see what's going on. I want to get play by play. Maybe you or the next person could change my mind. I don't know. I know Tyler Perry and a lot of the stars are getting the vaccines, but are they getting the vaccine because they make a quarterly or a substantial amount of money? Are the people like you and I going to get the same vaccine? I don't know, because we know the government has a history of stepping on stuff, and stretching it out. They'll step on it and stretch it out. So I'm just saying, I don't know. More in the news, we have to build these bridges of communication. We have to definitely learn how to agree to disagree. We have to tighten up in a lot of areas. The Republican Party and the people who support Trump are not taking a day off. So we can't take or afford to take a day off either. And I'm not Democrat nor Republican, but I understand we do have to have a happy medium. And, regardless of what side, we right now in trying times, and I'm speaking to the middle class American people, we have to find a way out of no way. And we have to keep the hustle alive. We have to rob Paul to pay Peter. And for those people, I can't stress enough, I applaud you for living and trying to keep your head above water. A lot of you may not know that I dibble and dab in property management. I was a leasing manager for over 3.5 years. And just dealing with families that are being evicted, and they may not physically be being evicted, but trust and believe it's going on your credit. So if you do try to move somewhere else, you're not going to be able to, because you do have an eviction. So once you pay that eviction, then you'll be able to look for some better place to stay. As far as floor closures, I definitely have a realtor that will be on to talk to you guys about real estate. I'm more apartments, so I can definitely help you in that line of area and aspect. Just carrying on the relationships that we need to carry. Like I said, the show wrapped up February, 31 subscribers in less than 2.5 weeks. And I'm so proud of that. Let's get it to 100. I want to stay on top of these things. Bobby Smurda got out. Everybody's happy about Smurda. Shout out to that young man. I particularly am not a fan. I can honestly say if I have heard his song, I didn't know it was him. And I don't even know why he got locked up. I don't know what's going on. But the boy out. So I guess welcome home. That's how I feel about that. On further notice and news, it's important that we understand our lines of communication and politics. And I know a lot of my Black American people, not all of us, but some of us, we don't like dealing in politics, but we need to, because $1,400 to me is not enough. $1,400 stimulus is helping, and the extension of unemployment is helping. But what really pissed me off that they took off the bill is they don't want to raise the pay rate. They don't want to raise salary. They don't want to raise, what needs to be raised, and that's financial and beneficiary to American people. Because if the minimum wage was to go up to $15 an hour, I think that's a suitable amount of money per hour starting for minimum wage, because you gotta look at it. The cost of living has gone up. The cost of living for a one bedroom here in North Carolina is about $1,000, and that's not including utilities. So if you're making $10 to $11 an hour, you're not going to be able to afford to live on your own. And I don't think the government or the Republicans, I'll just say, I don't think they're really understanding that, because they come from silver spoons and caviar jars. And it's so crazy because it's Republicans that don't have that. It's Republicans that are flat broken fucking trailer parks, and they still support this dumbass cause. But it would have helped the American people, and it would have helped the economy. Because whether you guys want to believe it or not, we are in a recession. And, people that are at home and have been at home since this pandemic has started. I hadn't been at home when the wave has started. I was still working. So I was a consensual worker, I was out there busting my butt, in lack of a better words. And then I became homebound. So, for those who have been at home the whole time, the government needs to understand that it's going to take some time for those people to get back out, because you get situated and you get used to a routine that's been created. Your kids are out, you're at home, you're on unemployment, you got this routine, or you don't. You may be in a depression or a funk. Your kids are in a depression or a funk. But mental health is serious. We're going to have to ease ourselves back into society. And I don't think the government really understands that. $14 helps. Yes. $1,400 helps. I'm sorry. Your taxes may help a little, give you some cushion. But the unemployment, when that goes and that runs out and there's no jobs still, then what? They're not thinking. I think they really messed up by taking that off that bill. I think they really didn't give it a true thought or they did give it a thought and say, hey, we got investments in these companies and we can't, up the ante because they don't care about putting food on your table. I would have loved to seen or heard how that conversation went. But of course I was working myself. So, we have to pay attention to the politics. We have to stay on top. We have to stay positive. This is what this podcast is about. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You got a gumbo of topics, but mainly here to promote positive vibes, open to that new frequency, and understanding that, hey, yes, you can become an entrepreneur. I'm not saying quit your job and just start a flower company. No, I'm not saying that. It takes money to make money. So if you are out and you're working, let's say you're working 2 jobs. Let's say you're working 1 job and you're doing Uber or DoorDash. Whatever you're doing to get to the extra funds to pay your bills. And then if you do have a little left over, or you do have a partner that you're working with so you can have a little left over, invest that in something that you and your partner can do to establish money to get you where you need to be. And then you're creating that longevity of wealth for your legacy that you're going to leave behind. I think that's the most important. I've always been a person who wanted to promote that. I feel like we get so caught up in our own feelings and our own demise. We get depressed. We're battling. We're emotional. We feel like we ain't this, we ain't that. We could have been here at an earlier age. We shoulda, coulda, woulda. All the shit that you may be thinking, get it out your head now. Each day that you wake up and God blesses you to put 2 feet on the ground, it gives you another day, another opportunity to make it right. It gives you another day to strive and push forward. Do not let anyone take your joy. If you're working from home, and like most of us are, and you're struggling and you're having to deal with this manager and that supervisor this and seeing if you got this done, do not let that stress you out. Remind, do not let anyone take your joy. Nowadays, joy is very hard to come by when you can't see your family and you can't hug on your loved ones. And I always had this thing with even my family and friends. I love putting their kids in the oven and that sounds crazy, but it works. I love, biting on their cheeks and, just that attention and that affection and that emotion of love to be spread. And, now that COVID's here, you can't come within 6 feet of a person. So it's hard when you have people you want to see, but they have their own underlying conditions. I have a cousin that I want to see, I want to love on, I want to hit and punch, but I can't because he has cancer. And he's fighting every day, and I love him to death, and I want to go spend time with him, but I can't because of COVID. And even though I've been quarantined in my home, I still don't want to risk it. So it's hard, and the challenges that I faced in my own personal life, wanting to see family and can't see them because of underlying conditions. And then if the vaccine is working and everything is going as flow, then hopefully those avenues will open up to where you can see your loved ones and you can't hug on them once again. I mean, we are all in this same boat, and it's getting a little easier. I don't know. You guys chime in. Let me know. Email me. How are you dealing with COVID? How are you dealing with being quarantined? Are you still going out? If you're going out, are you wearing your mask? Are you going to social events? Are you going to house parties? Are you going to clubs? Are you going to karaoke? I mean, what are you doing that's safe, that you're not worried to catch the coronavirus, and you're still living your life each day? I want to hear from you. For my people who smoke, I hope you're not smoking after people. This shit is real. We don't know the effects of it, so be careful, be mindful. Just being on this show and hosting it and building it from the mud, getting it out the mud, as we say, it's been such a beautiful thing. I've had so many great comments. I had so many great feedback, interviews. I mean, the live streamers, shout out. This is just such a big thank you to everyone. Um, I'm going to try to go live on YouTube soon. I can't stress enough. I'm definitely trying to build up the subscriber. I can't talk. The subscribers. And I'm definitely trying to plant that seed in everyone's head. I can't stress enough that the people who have given me the support, the people who have subscribed, the people who have taken the time to listen to each and every episode, the dedicated hearts and spirits, I love you. I really do. Let me say I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you 1,000 times over. For you to take the time out to allow me to be a part of your life and your world, and even if it's for a split second, I do appreciate it. For those who haven't tuned in yet, subscribe. Definitely tune in. Like I said, we got a gumbo of topics. I'm going to definitely jazz up the show a little bit. March is going to be full of interesting topics because a lot of them are going to be tuning on mental health and understanding mental health, understanding that people have challenges, understanding that people are facing more challenges with mental health than ever. If the government wants to send out any type of check, there needs to be a mental check. That's what it needs to be, because I think everyone needs a damn hug right now. We all are emotionally stressed out, especially if you're in the house with your kids all day, or you are working from home, no kids, and your partner comes home. I mean, it's just a battle. So I think we need to woosah. I took on meditation really deep. That has helped me a lot to be able to meditate and breathe and just mellow out for 30 minutes. That has helped me in my anxiety. Like I was telling you guys earlier, just from being in a house and being quarantined for the short amount of time I've been here is a nightmare. It's a living hell. When I'm such a person to get in a car or have someone drive me, and go be with my people and kick it and have fun and turn up, drink, play cards, go out, eat, shop, normal everyday shit that we took for granted. And it's like, you want to get up and do these things, you want a car ride, you want to do all of that, but you just can't trust it. So my biggest thing right now is definitely supporting anyone that's going through mental health. Like I said in my earlier segments and any of my videos, I am not a doctor. I am not a counselor. I am a spiritual guide. I am a spiritual being. I take my orders from the Most High God. And it was in my spirit to do this podcast and to learn that I have helped people in their battles with depression or their battles in a relationship, understanding a woman, understanding a man, getting perspectives, having guest co-hosts on. I mean, and us really hashing it out. February rocked. I can't stress enough how happy I am. And I can't wait for us to continue this journey. Mental health is very important, especially in the Black community. I think we need some real, true TLC. And I'm not saying that mental health is not affecting any other race, but I think just from us seeing a lot of what has happened over the past few years, even the decades, with Black folks just being killed, and then you got your new cases, Sandra Bland, and I'm going to say her name, Sandra Bland, and I hope I'm pronunciating it right. She was such a beautiful spirit. I went back and looked at her videos and just looked at her personality. She was just such a beautiful spirit. So I still don't understand a person with that energy, that spirit, that nature that would want to kill herself. That's a crock of shit to me. I didn't get a depressing vibe off that woman. That it's just across. It's Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor, I feel like I know her. I feel like I grew up with her. I feel like I went to school with her. I feel like she was a sister. Like, I don't know. And I didn't know her from a can of paint, but just from learning about her and who she was and what she was striving to be, it was like, wow, she was such a beautiful person. And I still have a picture of her and Sandra Bland in my phone just to remind myself when I, get into any type of situations, what I need to do to protect myself. And I need to know my rights and know the law. That's another thing I want to talk about here on a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We got to know our laws. Even though they were designed to destroy us, we still got to know the law. Because by knowing and being informative and having that information could probably save your life as a African American in America. We have a lot of our youth, a lot of our young men who've been incarcerated, who struggle to readapt to society because nobody will take the time to help them understand. A lot of our youth don't know how to start, bank accounts. They don't know how to fix their credit. You got a lot of grown folks, but a lot of the guys that are coming out from being incarcerated, they have to adjust to the life because behind the wall is a totally different thing. And, I only know this because I've talked to people that have been to the penitentiary. And, it's an experience. It's a lifestyle that you have to take on forever, how many years you were sentenced or whatever. So we have to help. I'm such a big person about each one, teach one. I always say I don't have all the answers, but at least I know where to start. I'm going to start the conversation. And the conversation needs to be had because it's not just our men, it's our women too. We need to be mindful. I remember they picked that Fantasia because she said she wasn't the best reader. Well, North Carolina will do that to you. I was blessed to have a great school. Shout out to Garinger, G Code. I was at a great school, one of the poorest in Charlotte, but one of the greats because we had teachers that actually cared. It was that village that would take the time out with you, invite you to their house. I'll never forget this teacher. Her name was Miss Ivy. She invited me to her house to tutor me in math. I was having a real struggle in math, and she tutored me at her house. And that meant the world to me, that she would invite me over, feed me, treat me like one of hers, and help me pass a test. And, of course, COVID, so you can't really do that TLC now, but, that village, the teachers, we got to have these uncomfortable conversations with these men and these women that don't know. If you don't know how to read or pronunciate or spell or do math, then yeah, we need to get you on the right track. We need to get you in some classes, to do all that, to be able to start over so you could be proud of that. I don't think that's a joking matter at all. Shout out to Fantasia for even sharing that, I believe, we as a community, as a black community, the same people who be laughing be the same people that had a problem. So we need to check ourselves. And that's what this show is about. It's no judgment. All backgrounds, all walks of life are welcome. I'm here and I'm going to be here. I'm going to always show up and show out and let you guys know what I'm thinking, how I feel about it. I'm going to give you my honest opinion all the time. We got great things coming on the show. Got up and coming artists. We got couples talk that's coming. I have a beautiful couple. They're a gaming couple, excuse me. And they're a serious gaming couple, and I love it because I hop on a live stream from time to time, and I watch them game, and I thought I was a gamer, but they got me beat. So I want you guys to stay tuned. March is going to be madness, but it's going to be good madness. You know, in the famous words of our brother John Lewis, let's cause good trouble. Let's be a part of good trouble. And I really do believe that. I want to set forth a good trouble atmosphere, and let's debate and agree to disagree on a lot of things, politics, mental health. You know, I believe if you're a rapper, singer, actress, whatever it is that you do, and you got a plethora of money and you want to donate to a community and put a mental health institution in that community, and pick like-minded people that go with the community to counsel. Excuse me. Pick like-minded people in the community that can help build and get a bottom line to mental health. It's so much that we could be doing. It's so much that we could take on, and we can work out. And I think if we do it in an each one teach one type of format, I think we will get somewhere. You know, a lot of people automatically assume you know something, and you may not have a clue. Hell, I didn't know who the hell Trippie Redd was until he came in my stream. Only reason why I knew who Baby was because he's from the city. He's from Charlotte, or, you know, born in Cleveland, raised in Charlotte. So, you know, it's such a evolving world, and you're not going to be up on everything. But for those who are, I kudos to you. I'm getting organized. I have a million things on my list that I'm getting checked off, and I'm proud of. I have a clothing line I'm trying to come out with. I make custom shirts and bags and cups. I'm also working still, leasing apartments. So it's really trying. Just trying to keep your mind going, and trying to keep everything flowing the way it should flow, and supplementing income, and understanding that everybody is being affected by this. This is a domino effect, because if you ain't got no job, you can't move. Unemployment is not a form of, it is, but it ain't. It's so fair housing, but it runs out. So it really is not considered a form of income for those who didn't know. FYI. But yeah, I'm just going to be bringing these gumbo of topics to you guys. I wanted to get on because I want to thank you for the support. We're in a new month, so I want to let you know what was coming up in this new month in March. And I want to give it to you raw and uncut. You know, I'm not going to edit this recording. I'm going to add in some things, but I'm not going to edit it out from what I've said. And I just want you guys to continue to join, continue to support. Let's get the subscribers to 100. Let's get them up, and share, subscribe, share, pass the word on, get on the frequency. Let's have these uncomfortable talks about mental health. Let's have these uncomfortable talks about what your struggles are during this COVID, and what you struggled with, if you came out of it. How did you come out of it? Because you may be helping someone else. You never know. I sit and meditate, and whatever happens in that meditation, if I cry, if I yawn, if I, whatever emotion, I'm going to accept, because it's okay not to be okay. And I think my community is really struggling with that. And we still try to be okay when we're not okay. And that's what's not okay, if that makes sense. So I thank you all for listening. I thank you for tuning in to a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I look forward to getting your emails and hearing from you. Until the next time, my friends. Peace and love.